Hey guys, we're going to be going back to Dullahan Advanced Mode for another clear. This time, we're going to be using a four-man party yet again. I've said this before, but when I use a smaller team than you need for the missions, feel free to fill in the empty party slots with anything you want. If you need more damage, add another DPS. If you need more survival, add another buffer or a better breaker, whatever you want. But the mission is for 5 units. We're going to take 10 turns or less. We're going to do that. So we're going to use Behemoth for physical covering this time. We're going to use Savior for breaking. And we're going to use Tiana for our damage dealer. Now the boss does actually have higher spirit than defense, so mages are not the optimal way to go. But we're going to get it done, no problem with Tiana anyway. So here's the ambush. We're using Holy Resist in the base or the off form of all our units, so we're immune to the ambush right here, not a problem. So Behemoth will go to the base form where he's wearing his tank gear. He's going to cover. We're going to do immunity buffs, and we're going to do King's Barrier for resistance on the party. Savior is going to go to the shift form, and we're going to do Disaster for an 85 break. We're going to use Tiana to Trouble Brewing, Revitalizing Brew. We're going to go with Fire, I guess. And then we're going to use Earthly Brown Concoction for a general mitigation buff. And then the friend Tiana is going to Trouble, Revitalizing, Fire, Amplify. And it doesn't really matter what else we do. I guess we'll do Airy Green Concoction, just for something to do. And okay, so we're not magic covering because the boss has pretty low magic damage. Once he's broken, it's not really that big a deal. We can, for the most part, ignore it. Alright, so Behemoth is now going to just cover. We will no need for armor, and we'll Frilly and Ferocious for the provoke. Savior didn't get her LB. That's fine. So we'll just ATB charge to get it for next turn. And let's go ahead and shift our Tianas, and we'll start dealing some damage. So we're going to do Unstable Fire 5 times. And then the friend, same thing. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and Tiana is, I've said this before, she's a stacking unit. She's going to deal very, very bad damage for the first 2 turns. Then starting on like turn 4, her damage will increase slowly. And then by turn 6, it'll be at the maximum. So we're going to be doing a little bit of low damage for the first few turns. But the mission is for 10 turns, so it's not really a problem. So we'll just... oh, and now we have Savior's LB as well. Shifted LB. That's a 90% break, so that'll increase damage a fair amount as well. Let's go ahead and keep stacking up our damage. And again, we'll start doing more and more and more each turn as we go on. So below 50, below 80, the boss starts healing every now and then. So we're going to use Behemoth to just dual cast Reflect and just bounce it onto the boss, so that if the boss when the boss does heal below 80%, it'll bounce back onto the party and not heal the boss himself. He heals every 3rd turn below 80. So we actually won't even see that until turn 6. So Savior can go ahead and let's ATB charge this turn. And we'll go ahead and chain up our DPS here. This will push the boss below 80, so we go into phase 2. It starts off with a threshold, though. So let's have Behemoth just do cover. We'll do Departed and Frilly and Ferocious. Now the boss also does AoE stop as well every now and then on the below 80%. But we're using Behemoth currently for for stop immunity. If you're not using Behemoth, then you're going to need someone else to buff stop immunity for you. All right, we'll go ahead and just break the boss again with Savior. Let's see. Let's chain this up. Damage is increasing slowly and surely. Alright, so Behemoth now will, let's see, let's go ahead and spend this turn to refresh that Reflect on the boss. I'm not sure when we did it live. We did like a turn or 2 ago, but let's do it again. He has nothing else really to do. And the boss does do a little bit more damage below 80. He also starts getting accuracy on the single target stuff, but, Behemoth can tank it pretty fine. Alright, so we need to do Disaster again to break the boss. Now, Tiana's quad cast is worn off. We're going to go back to the base farm and refresh all this. So, basically the same thing we did before. Earthly Brown for the General Mitt. Friend, back to the base. We'll do Trouble, Revitalizing, Flaming for the Amp, and then we'll do Green Concoction on this guy. Behemoth can just refresh his stuff, and then King's Barrier for that nice resist buff. Which I actually didn't have last turn, I think, so I probably should have had that, but whatever. Yeah, the boss does do some damage, below whatever, but it's not too bad. The reason mine took no damage is because Tiana has magical evasion, and we evaded the damage, which is kind of fun, kind of nice every now and then. I think she has 75% magic evasion, which is kind of insane, but it's not super relevant. All right. Unfortunately, we didn't get Savior's LB. I think the boss is still good Spirit Broken anyway. Yeah, he has one more turn. That's fine. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, damage increasing nicely. Does the boss have Reflect? We need to refresh that. Looks like the boss consumed the Reflect from the healing, so we will put Reflect back on the boss. Let's dual cast Reflect twice. You know what I should have done? No, never mind. Let's go ahead and use Savior to 90% Spirit Break while we have a moment here. And then the regeneration. Tiana also has regeneration on the party, by the way. If you wonder how we got healed, we're regenerating quite a bit with Tiana. So we'll go ahead and chain this up again. And this is probably the end of it. Like I mentioned, Tiana's damage goes up a whole lot as the fight goes on. Yep, that was the win. So I'll show you the team's gear and all. So Behemoth is on Carbuncle with dual cast. So we have Reflect to stop the boss's healing. You can also use Nethicite, I believe, on those turns. Other than that, he's full evasion in the base form. And he's got a little bit of, resist gear. Not much ice and light resist. You don't really need much resist because the boss does pretty low magical damage. And I gave him Future Emperor to counter with even more mana restore, which is optional. Shift form, auto buffing, and then light resist for the ambush. And then Savior of Souls in the base form. Some LB fill stuff, auto buffing, light resist in the base form. Shift form is just geared for... I geared her for Spirit in case we needed her to heal with, Curaga or something. We never needed healing, so that was kind of irrelevant. LB fill, and that's pretty much it. Just a little bit of light and holy resist, and she's just the breaker, so all she did was break. Tiana, mine in the base form. Same thing. Auto buffing, 100 light resist or better. Some Spirit. And then shift form is geared for damage. A little bit of resist, not much. A throwing weapon, and then killers, chain cap up with the Magister's Helm, etc. Maxed Reaper Killer. And then the friend, Agni, his base form, again, just auto buffing, and then 100 light resist. Shift form is geared, same thing. Throwing weapon, killers, chain cap up. He is wearing chain cap, yep he is. And then he's got Maxed Reaper Killer. Okay. And there it was, all missions, 10 turns or less. No deaths and 5 units or less. We did 4 or less just because. And as you see here, yeah, so our damage went up a whole lot after Tiana's stacks. Tiana's a decent unit. It's just she's had 6 turns of terrible. And then after turn 5, she does a whole lot better. I think mine was EX3, so it does a little bit higher damage. But yeah. So there it is. There's all missions on Dullahan. Another clear. So again, you can just swap out Tiana with your favorite DPS. It's got to be fire or lightning element though. So what's it called? Tyvis would be a good choice. You can use Graph. You can use Kane. You can use Carton would be great here. Carton probably OTK it maybe. With the right team, obviously. But yeah, there's Dullahan advanced. So good luck to the rest of you.